Now at 10, an elementary school principal resigns in the wake of a major drug investigation. Tonight, the latest on this developing story. And a political firestorm. Governor Walker's changes have sparked praise and controversy. But what if things went back the way they were? How much would that cost? Tonight, an in-depth, balanced look.
It helped us in our budget process.
The facts don't match the rhetoric.
Newsline 9 starts right now.
From WAOW, all your coverage in stunning high definition. Newsline 9 at 10, your trusted resource.
An Antigo Elementary School principal and football coach at the center of a drug investigation has resigned. Good evening, I'm Daniel Woodruff. Antigo School Board members accepted John Lund's resignation tonight at a special meeting. Our Bonnie Shelton was there in Antigo. She joins us now live with the latest. Bonnie.
Well, Daniel, the school district attorney says Lund's resignation is effective immediately. 4 other Antigo School District employees are on paid leave in connection with this investigation, but the board did not take any action against them tonight. John Lund submitted his letter of resignation to the district.
Move along quickly.
The school district's attorney says no other school employees are under investigation by the school district. Cindy Fisher will continue as interim principal at both West and Pleasant View Elementary until the end of the year. School district officials say the search for Lund's permanent replacement will begin soon. Daniel.
Thank you, Bonnie, reporting live in the newsroom tonight. Now, for all the latest on this case, including a look at the criminal complaint and a copy of John Lund's resignation letter, you can head to WAOW.com. The Antigo School Board also voted tonight to delay a referendum to build a new school. A school district official says voters will get the chance to vote on this issue again in November after it was voted down earlier last year. The district was asking for $24 million for a new central elementary building. School officials say they would then close 4 rural schools and have all the students inside the city limits. We have new details tonight in the case against 4 Lincoln High School wrestlers. Now a Wood County judge in this case is asking for more information. According to court documents, Zach Bennett, Devin Peterson, Rylan Lubeck, and Casey Einerson are all charged with disorderly conduct. Police say the 4 of them danced around the locker room naked and tried to touch another wrestler inappropriately. Well, today the judge asked for a detailed list of times, places, and people who were involved in these acts that prosecutors say happened. Last week, lawyers for the wrestlers filed to dismiss all the charges. They say the alleged victim in this case changed part of his story and told a tall tale of sorts about being involved in a sexual assault. But the state fired back, filing new motions, claiming that the 4 wrestlers were part of other inappropriate physical acts. They say the wrestlers harassed other teammates on bus trips, in the locker room, and in a hotel room during the 2009-2010 season. The judge, however, says he will not address any of these motions until he receives the list of particulars.
Because the bill of particulars will also give me a better idea as to what witnesses may or may not be called, which will narrow down the scope that I will have to review.
Now, the state has 1 week to file that list. The judge also dismissed testimony from the alleged victim and told lawyers that they could not use the testimony that the victim gave about participation in a sexual assault. We have an update tonight about a fire that happened Tuesday at Lazy Acres Mobile Home Park in Wausau. Now Keith Rosenow, seen here, is charged with 4 felonies, including 3 for second-degree recklessly endangering safety and another for unsafe burning of his own building. According to a police report, Rosenow was being evicted from his home on Lazy Acre Road and set fire to it to get revenge on the landlord. He told police he was aware people were in their homes at the time, although no one was hurt in that blaze. Neighbors reported hearing a loud bang that night and then seeing fire.
Fire investigations can be very complicated. Obviously, a lot of the evidence is destroyed from the fire, but also in the process of extinguishing the fire. This case has come together very nicely, once again, through the joint efforts with the fire department and the Department of Justice.
Now, court documents show that Lazy Acres filed for eviction against the Rosenows in September, and they were supposed to be out by February 1st. Attempts to reach the Rosenows were unsuccessful. He is expected to be back in court next week. It's certainly a nice time here in February, certainly spring-like, and Groundhog didn't see a shadow.
Not in Wisconsin, so he's saying an early spring.
Early spring.
The guy out in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania is saying more winter, so who knows?
Yeah,
But
we'll see.
we've got some cold weather ahead down the road, but not for tonight. We're dealing with fairly mild temperatures and lots of cloud cover, just some hazy skies. No fog to speak of yet, so that's some good news. A dense fog advisory still in effect from the National Weather Service out in Taylor, Clark, Jackson, Monroe, Juneau, and Adams counties until noon tomorrow. But I'm having a little bit of a doubt that this is actually going to materialize around here. It looks like more down toward the Mississippi River is where the problem will be. Visibility is about 7 miles right now, and temperatures are near the freezing mark. Find out the latest on the weekend in a couple minutes.
Thanks, Tony. A major recall effort is underway right now against Republicans, the governor, the lieutenant governor, and 4 state senators. Much of this anger against the GOP comes from big changes they made during the last year. If you remember, most public workers lost many collective bargaining rights, and those workers now have to pay more money for benefits. So the question is, what impact has this had? Has it saved Wisconsin any money? And what if things went back to the way they were before? Tonight, we set out to find the truth. Fresh into office, Governor Scott Walker proposed some big. Some of them have been. Now we'd like to invite you to weigh in on what we found in this story. Please head to our Facebook page and you can join the conversation there. Now in this story you heard from Democratic State Representative Donna Seidel. You may also have noticed some campaign signs around her. She has announced that she does plan to run in a possible recall election for the state Senate. That is just one of several seats that Democrats are hoping to reclaim in the next few months. Up next, a wanted man leads police on quite a chase in Spencer. We'll have that. Plus, a new ad campaign aims to keep people safe and sober in the snow. A man with multiple warrants out for his arrest ran from police in Spencer. Officials say 29-year-old Joshua Rainwand was pulled over on Highway 13. They say he then got out of his car and ran across railroad tracks away from police. Officers say he was quickly arrested and taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Officers say the warrants against him are all misdemeanors. Discussion continues in Wisconsin Rapids as Wood County decides whether to pursue an offer, I should say, to trade public land with a private company. At issue here is several acres of land as well as a boat ramp on Nepco Lake. County leaders say the owners of Great Northern Timber Company proposed a trade to give 17 acres of land and a boat launch to the county. In return, the county would give 14 acres with 10 along the waterfront. But the offer was recently pulled by the timber company owners.
The ultimate goal is to make the lake more usable, and that the reason to do this wasn't necessarily they're going to pick up a lot of dollars and stick them in their pocket. It was trying to find a way to make it economically reasonable to undergo the cost to do a lot of rehabilitation on the lake.
People aren't real keen on the idea of getting rid of any of the parkland. The other thing is that they really want access to the west side of the lake.
Today, people living in the area offered their suggestions to the county. Some suggested the county build its own boat launch, while others said the lake is small enough to easily access the water from the east side. County officials say they will consider all of these suggestions. State leaders have now unveiled a new effort to help encourage people on snowmobiles to stay sober.
It'd be ridiculous to do this drunk.
Transportation leaders say they will spend $40,000 airing public service announcements during the Super Bowl weekend coming up. Those ads will be about not drinking and riding. So far this winter season, 5 deaths related to snowmobiling have been reported in Wisconsin. Authorities say alcohol was a factor in 3 of them.
That's still way too many people that have lost family members or neighbors or work colleagues or that type of thing. But we have to start somewhere. We have to make an impact. We have to get people to change their behavior and at least plan ahead and be responsible.
Now, last week, officers patrolled snowmobile trails in Eagle River. This weekend, they plan to monitor trails in Bayfield County. Taking a live look outside right now in Wausau, Tony is up next with your forecast.
Well, we still have that dense fog advisory from parts of Minnesota through western and southern Wisconsin, but again, back to winter-like levels with a high of 24. Daniel.
Thanks, Tony. Well, still ahead here, some real team spirit. One woman may not have any green and gold in this year's Super Bowl, but it's not stopping her from helping others. That story up next. The Packers may not be in the Super Bowl this year, but that doesn't mean Packers fans can't bring that green and gold spirit to Indianapolis. Sue Decker started the group called Packers Fans Pay It Forward. You see the sign there. Last year, she loaded up a green truck and headed to the Super Bowl, stopping along the way to donate pounds of brats and cheese to food pantries.
The food pantries this year more than ever are in need with all the people that have lost their jobs, homeless families. So to them, it's irrelevant who's in the Super Bowl. They still need food.
Now, Decker said she is stopping at 4 food pantries along the way this year. She hit the road this morning, actually, and hopes to make it to Indianapolis by Saturday. You can head to WAOW.com to follow Decker on her journey. She will be sending us pictures and updates on her travels there. In sports, the Packers make some coaching moves, and it's a busy night on the high school ice sports. That's next.
This year hasn't been as flawless as last year's state championship season for the Wausau West hockey team, but the Warriors still find themselves unbeaten in conference play, in good position for a top seed in the playoffs. They visit Marshfield tonight. We're scoreless early. The wrister by Austin Littman is kicked away by Sam Wiegert. Same sequence, and Bo Howard, he can't fool Wiegert either. We stay scoreless. West attacking Marshall Oha, no good. Rebound by Tom Kilgore. Better luck next time. Mac Albareo stout for the Tigers. That is until now. The shot by Seth Wage is no good, but the rebound cleaned up by Andrew Lee. West takes a 1-0 lead, but Marshfield showing some fight on its home ice. They tie the state champs at 4. DC Everest right behind West in the Valley. They host Spash. First period, John Perry firing for the Panthers. Backhand, no good. Jared Inkers making the save. Greens with a chance now. Chris Babyars fires, but Michael Storch makes the snag to keep things scoreless, but Everest comes through later. Colin Helke going top shelf off the crossbar. Everest wins 3-1. Mosinee hosting Antigo, tied at 1 after the first. In the second, Indians break it open. Bryce Ladovac just broke the school scoring record, and that's a good reason why. The goal making it 2-1. It's now 3-1. Austin McCarthy, he can't stuff it in, but Austin Fox there to clean it up. 4-1 Indians. Then it's Ladovac again. This one trickles across the line. Jared Sprink makes sure it gets across. Mosinee wins 8-1. The Auburndale girls basketball team has played some mighty good defense as of late. The Apaches have allowed just 26 points in their last 2 wins. But tonight, they face Edgar, who's third in the Merriwood in scoring. Second half action, Holly Denfeld. Strong move to the basket, gets the hoop and the harm. Wildcats down 13-9, though. Other end, Brianna Meyer finds Sam Carl in the post. Apaches going up 15-10. Next possession, Jenna Heidman, top of the key. Triple pulls Edgar within a pair. But when Auburndale gets the ball back, Meyer with a toe on the line. The Apaches, they win this one 43-40 in overtime. In the Clover Belt, Colby visiting Marshfield. Columbus, all kinds of hoops fans tonight in Marshfield. First quarter, Paige Thornton out ahead to Elizabeth Manlick. The layup pulls Columbus within 10-8. But here come the Hornets. Lisa Horacek on the strong post move extends the lead to 3. Then Sarah Gamillo with the pull-up J. She had a game-high 17. Colby wins 55-24. Marshfield, the side of a gymnastics meet tonight. Rapids and Ashland in the triangular with the Tigers. Olivia Tierney on the uneven bars for Marshfield. She'll earn her team a 7-9-2-5. Over to the Red Raiders on the vault. Tabby Dorhorst with the impressive 9-2 average. That's out of 9.6. I could never do something like that. And Tabby again on her best event, the bars. She walks away with a 9.35 and was first in every event. Rapids was second as a team, though. The host Tigers took third. Super Bowl 46 is just 3 days away, and plenty of people have already made their way to Indianapolis. That includes players from teams all around the league. In particular, one player familiar with Central Wisconsin has arrived in Indianapolis to promote a good cause, and today he took over the microphone to do some reporting and let everyone here at home know about his big plans.
What's up? I'm Austin Lane from the Jacksonville Jaguars, hometown of good old Iola, Wisconsin. We're here at the Taste of the NFL thing, trying to promote hunger in the United States. I'm really excited for this event, not because my trip's paid for it, which is a plus, but also I'm helping promote, get money for World Hunger, and also Miss America's in the house from Wisconsin herself, so I'm gonna add her on Facebook, see what she's got to say about it. Can't wait to meet her. Stay tuned, I'll be sending pictures in, things like that, so right on.
Always a good time with Austin. And he will be tweeting his thoughts and pictures detailing his weekend at the Super Bowl. You can keep up to date with him by logging on to WAOW.com and clicking on our sports page. And Austin Lane, he's been voted the top tweeter in the NFL, so some entertaining stuff there. The Packers today named quarterbacks coach Tom Clements their new offensive coordinator. Clements has been with Green Bay for 6 seasons and replaces Joe Philbin, who left the Packers to become the head coach in Miami. For the second straight year, Jordan Taylor is one of 11 finalists for the Bob Cousy Award, which is given to the country's top point guard annually. Taylor leads the Badgers with 14 points and 4 assists a game. And finally, Brewers outfielder Niger Morgan got in some practice time with San Jose Sharks yesterday. T. Plush played hockey when he was younger. He even moved to Canada to focus on the sport. But Brewers fans, they can be glad that he's kept his focus on baseball. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
Move over, Punxsutawney Phil. Washington, D.C. now has its own Phil. It's Potomac Phil. So what if he isn't alive? He made his debut, though, at the city's first ever Groundhog Day celebration. And like his counterpart, Punxsutawney Phil, Potomac Phil did not, or he did see his shadow, I'm sorry. That means 6 more weeks of winter. What I was trying to think of is in Wisconsin, Jimmy the Groundhog did not see his shadow. And it feels like we are in for some more springtime. Soon.
Well, the temperatures will be more spring-like than winter-like. We'll have readings hitting the upper 30s tomorrow. Might be some fog early.
All right. Thanks, Tony. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.